Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to be covering the Born in Roma Hair and Body Mist released by Valentino and the new BonBon collection of Eau De Parfums released by Viktor and Rolf. Okay, so starting off with Valentino, I wanted to talk a little bit about the marketing. You can skip to this timestamp if you want to jump ahead straight to the fragrances, but I was just so confused by this and it stuck out to me, so I just wanted to talk about it. For some reason, they connected this hair and body mist line with their Born in Roma line. So it's Born in Roma Salty Pistachio, Born in Roma insert name of hair and body mist. They also connected it by having the bottles look the same. I'll put them up on the screen. So you have the perfumes and then you have the hair and body mist. The bottles are designed the same. The colors are the same color story, like the same pastel pink and yellow and green, right? So I thought the green went with the green and the pink went with the pink and the yellow with the yellow and so on. When I was looking things up and I saw like the green perfume is, I don't know the exact names, forgive me, but the green perfume is a tea fragrance. And then you have the green of the hair and body mist and it's a salty pistachio. And I thought that doesn't seem like it's going to go together. And then the pink perfume is a jasmine vanilla. The pink mist is a milky vanilla, and then the yellow perfume is a musky floral. The yellow mist is like a solar coconut. The coral perfume is this orange, what was it? Orange and jasmine, a fruity floral. And then the coral mist is a plain caramel. So when I was looking at it, I'm like, well, technically, I mean, you could use these to layer and kind of, add them to the fragrance and see what they would do. Rare Beauty did something similar with their perfume. They came out with these fragrance balms that were supposed to be enhancers for the perfume. So they specifically formulated these balms to go with the perfume so that you can kind of like mix and match and kind of create your own scent story, which I thought was like really nice. And I love the balms. Like they're really beautiful. They wear really beautifully. The scents are really nice. You can even put them with other perfumes that you have. So it was a really good idea. And I thought like, oh, maybe Valentino's doing the same thing. But then I was looking at the marketing itself, like on, I believe it was Ulta's website. And on one of the pictures, they basically tell you that these fragrances have nothing to do with each other, which makes me then question, why did you design them this way then? I get if you want to use the same kind of spiky textured bottle design, but why make the colors correspond? And then also, I'm going to have to go back to the store and get a picture of this. If I don't, you can probably just go into a store. I think that they are doing all these displays the same. I don't think it's just my Ulta. But the display for these is also that you have the hair and body mist, and then beneath them was the corresponding eau de parfums and their same colors. So if they have nothing to do with each other, why make them connect in this way? It's just confusing. The other thing that's strange to me is the marketing of each hair and body mist. So the background of these hair and body mists, there's like rubber duckies and some kind of claw machine that looks like a little ball pit that kind of has like a grabber, like it's a carnival grabbing machine game. Another one has like these pastel stripes and this mirror with these light bulbs on it that remind me of, I think it was like back in 2016 or 18 when these things were popular, like the vanity mirror with the big light bulbs all the way around. I mean, I'm sure people still have them and still buy them today, but in my mind, that aesthetic is a lot older. The bottom line is I just didn't understand this marketing, because is this supposed to be some kind of like carnival theme or some kind of like a vintage carnival or like a soda shop? I just wasn't sure what they were going for. And the whole thing kind of threw me because, I mean, listen, I'm no fashionista. Okay. I wear the same thing all the time. I'm in t-shirts and tanks and sweatpants and joggers. My wardrobe is very simple. I keep it that way so that it's easy to just like mix and match and get out the door. I'm not trying to talk like I'm some, Devil Wears Prada lady over here, but brands have brand identities. And I grew up with a lot of imagery and magazines and just a lot of marketing in my head. So when I think Valentino, I think like high-end, luxury, sleek, nice lines, like evocative shapes, a little bit rock and roll sometimes, a little edgy, but still elegant and classy. Like I have a very clear picture when I think of them. And, I can only chalk that up to all the marketing that I've, I was going to say imbibed. It's not, I didn't drink it, but all the marketing that I've been exposed to, like for, the past 30, 40 years. So this whole like rubber ducky thing, it just came out very childish and a little dated. and just kind of cheap looking, to be honest. It was not, if you took the label and everything off, I would never have thought Valentino. I just wouldn't have. I mean, it would have looked more like Valentino from Temu. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person that had an issue. I mean, it's not even really an issue, but it's just something that kind of threw me off. And the reason I think it stuck out to me is because of the fragrances themselves. It just seems like none of this stuff fits. And that maybe this was kind of thrown together haphazardly, because that's what it's starting to feel like with the scents, with the marketing, with all the things. And on that note, let's get into the scents, and you'll have probably a better idea of what I'm talking about. So first off, we're going to start with Born in Roma Salty Pistachio. The notes on here are going to be bergamot, pistachio, and whipped cream. So this was the best out of all the fragrances, in my opinion. It's true to the name. It's a very realistic pistachio. You get a very heavy nuttiness. This is not an overly sweet pistachio. I'm starting to notice that brands are kind of going more nutty with the pistachio lately. Like, I just did a review for Ellis Brooklyn's, I believe it was Forever Pistachio, and they also went into a more nutty direction instead of going to the more kind of sweet treat version of things that I think people are more used to. So it could catch you off guard, but I actually prefer the Valentino's version to Ellis Brooklyn's version in terms of like the heavy nuttiness, because for whatever reason, the nuttiness in this Valentino version of Salty Pistachio, there's a good balance of like the creaminess and some brightness and some freshness coming through. So it's just a better overall blend, to me, in my opinion, to my nose, where you get the nutty and you still get the sweet. So it's not so overbearing, because I believe with the Ellis Brooklyn, my issue was that it was just too realistic. Like, I genuinely felt like I was just like sticking my face in a bowl full of pistachios. And I assume that like people are going to like that, but I didn't like it. So this is a little bit more up my alley. This to me is a little bit more wearable. Also, the lasting power was pretty decent. This, I want to say it was like, I think a good like 3 hours. It wasn't bad. Definitely better than a couple others that are in this line, but decent lasting power for what it is. And it didn't turn into anything like weird or funky on the dry down. It stayed pretty consistent throughout. I would say if anything, you get a little bit more of the creaminess as it's drying down, but it doesn't turn into anything weird. So that was nice. Okay, so next up, we're going to do Born in Roma Vanilla Bliss. And the notes on here are going to be creamy milk, Damascena rose, and vanilla bourbon. So this was vanilla. This was a little bit milky. This was really plain and boring. And it disappeared within the hour. I don't know what the heck was going on here. This really came off to me as like a almost not a cheap vanilla, because it wasn't astringent. It wasn't overly alcoholy. The experience wasn't cheap, right? Like, it didn't sting my nose, it didn't irritate, but the vanilla was so plain that it was just like, what is this for? This is why I was thinking that maybe these were made to be paired with other things, because it was so plain. And I just couldn't see, like, for $50, this is what we're doing. It was just very confusing to me. So I was really disappointed when I tried that on. I tried it like, I want to say 2 or 3 different times, because I'm like, maybe it's just my nose, maybe it's just the day, maybe it's just whatever. So I went 2 more times to try it. And no, it's just plain vanilla. You do get the milkiness, but it's not even like a milky, like a cereal milk, a la sniff 2% perfume. It's not that. There's no complexity here. There's no nothing. There's just no nothing. It's just vanilla, and it's not even really a good vanilla, again, in my opinion. Okay, so next up, we're going to do Born in Roma Golden Coconut. The notes on here are going to be clean air, solar, florals, and coconut. Right off the bat, I sprayed this and it smelled like pineapple to me. I got pineapple. I got a little bit of like the sourness from the pineapple. I got a solar kind of dry down, and then it was a little bit shampooy. The solar component on the dry down, though, is so strong. It kind of reminded me of Sol de Janeiro's, I think, Rio Radiance. I don't remember what number that is, but it was giving me that vibe, but it was a little bit more metallic. Like, if you know Solar Notes is kind of that thing where you almost like smell heat. It's such a strange thing. It's slightly metallic-y. Sometimes I get this. I don't know if anybody else gets this from Solar Notes, but sometimes it's a little buttery, like unsalted butter. if it's too strong, it can kind of make me feel a little bit sick. So in this one, it went into that direction where it was the metallic was a little too strong, the butteriness was a little too strong. It wasn't a bad scent, it just wasn't a pleasant wear for me because the solar was too strong for me. If you really like a strong solar note, this is going to be right up your alley. As far as the coconut, I got like a hint of it for like 2 seconds, and then it was just the solar components. Okay, so next up we're going to do Born in Roma Caramel Crush, and the notes are going to be caramel, Damasceno rose. Am I saying that right? Damasceno? Probably not. Damasceno rose and vanilla bourbon. And this was exactly like the vanilla. It's plain caramel, but it's flat. There's no complexity, there's no depth. It doesn't last more than 30 minutes on me. I just can't. I'm like, I'm so thrown off by this collection. And this is what kind of made me spiral with the marketing, because I looked into the marketing and stuff afterwards, like as I was prepping everything for this video to get all the, like the elements and the components and stuff. So I'm getting the pictures for everything. And, the marketing doesn't make sense for the brand. The scents don't make sense for the price point. The bottles and the colors. I mean, this is very simple. You want to keep the bottle design, but change the colors and don't have them. If they don't go together, then don't put them together in your marketing. Like, am I crazy? Am I just not, is this like too avant-garde for me to understand? Like, I don't get it. And I really don't understand how you can charge $50 for these. They are not worth it. I'm sorry. They're just not worth it. Salty pistachio, maybe if you really want that scent profile, you can't really find it anywhere else. I don't really know any other brands that are doing the pistachio in like a nut forward kind of way. Most people are doing them with like the kind of almondy sweetness attached to it. So I could see maybe somebody shelling out $50 for that, because it's just a hard scent profile to find right now. I think people are maybe going to be doing it more since I'm seeing it with Ellis Brooklyn. This is coming out. I mentioned in the other video too, there was a Middle Eastern fragrance that did it as well. I think it was Latafa. So maybe the salty pistachio, right? The performance was a little bit better. The fragrance was different and unique and done in a where it made the nuttiness kind of wearable. So I just don't know, man. I just don't know what people are doing. And then I did go in and look at the reviews, some of the reviews. I didn't really bother going too in depth with it because there aren't too many because these are new. But where you do find a lot of the reviews, either the Sephora or the Ulta website, where they must have sent these out for promotion, and a lot of the reviews were of people who had received these for promo, um, or to review, got them. I don't know, what is it that they get it for free and then they get it for the purposes of reviewing it. I was going through those and it was very mixed. So if you go on Fragrantica, you go on Perfume, or you go on these other sites that have nothing to do with that, they have basically the similar opinion to me that these scents are not worth $50. They're very plain, they don't last. But then you go onto the website and people are a lot more generous. You did have some people that had the same opinion, that like these scents it was way too light, they don't last, and they just weren't worth the price tag. But then you had some people that these really worked for. So like the salty pistachio one, I remember a lady talking about how this was a gourmand perfume for women who don't really like super gourmand perfumes. Like it was an easier wear for her because it wasn't overly sweet, and because it was more nutty, it was just more doable for her. She really appreciated the scent for that. With the golden coconut, there was a lot of people who really loved it. A lot of people got a sunscreen quality from it, and I didn't get that at all, so I don't really know. But it was quite a few people that said it. So, I don't know. People seem to like them. But as far as like independent reviews where people didn't get, samples or bottles or whatever for free, I don't really know how they do that over there with Ulta. I don't know if they send out like samples of these things, or I don't really know. But in any case, when things just come out, it's kind of difficult to get a real consensus, because there's no way for me to tell like how much of people's reviews are genuine when they're getting the products for free, or I don't know, are they on a list, do they want to continue to be on it, I don't really know how that works. So I don't know the motivations really for those reviews, and when my experience is so different from theirs, I just kind of go with my own my own experience because I mean, I know me. But I mention it because you don't know me, and you can go on and you'll read a lot of positive reviews about these things, but I would say just get your nose on it. If you were planning on just blind buying these, I would ask, please don't do that. Because I don't know. I don't know what the policy is about the mists and the perfumes with Ulta, if you can return them. I'm pretty sure with any perfumes and stuff, if you have used it, they don't take it back. I'm not sure. I don't know. In any case, you're a grown up. Make up your own mind. But this is just kind of like a warning for me that I didn't have the best experience. I thought these were incredibly plain. I don't think that these are worth $50. I think you'd be better off going to literally any other store and any other brand, and you'll get a better vanilla and a better caramel. I'm that disappointed in these. I didn't know you could mess up vanilla. I didn't know you could mess up caramel. But this is how you do it, by making it so blah that it's just like it's not even worth it. I don't even know what the point of doing this was. I mean, I guess I know the point. Hair and body mists are doing really well right now in terms of trends, and everybody wants to do their version. But man, it just is such a bad look to do it this poorly. I'm going to be interested for these to actually see other reviewers and see how they felt, because maybe I am just alone in this. I don't know. I haven't watched any other reviews of these, so I think maybe after I finish filming this, I'll go and I'll watch them and see if everybody else got what I got, because I feel like I'm being kind of like mean about it, but yeah, I'm just so thrown off by the whole thing that I just can't believe, because they're a well-known brand. They've been doing this forever. So there's really no excuse, unless, I don't know, maybe they hired somebody new and this was like their first project, and maybe they're like just out of college or something. I just don't know. It just seems so confused. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It wasn't the best experience. The only one that I again would say is any type of worth it is the salty pistachio, and the rest just really did nothing for me. Just jumping in to say, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like and leave me a comment if you are feeling so inclined. It really helps the channel out. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Viktor and Rolf, their BonBon collection of Eau de Parfums. And the first is going to be BonBon Cola Fizz. The notes on here are cola, lemon, and white musk. This was so good. I tried these actually all on the same day. I tested them all on the same day. And it was such a departure, because I went from like trying the Valentinos and having it be so plain and having it be so blah and having it be so disappointing, and then going over to Viktor and Rolf and getting like this invigorating fragrance. So the Cola Fizz is exactly as its namesake. It is cola. It is the fizziness. You have literally just poured a fresh cup of soda. Okay, it's ice cold and you're getting that fizziness. It's got a little bit of hints of clove on the dry down. I know that that's not listed on here, but I got that. I got a little bit of clove. I guess I'm trying to think. I got a hint of lemon, but it wasn't like a lemon Coke or anything. But there was like a hint of it in there, but it's mostly just cola. It's mostly cola and that sparkling kind of fizziness. It's really nice. And it's so funny because I knew when I picked it up that it was going to be cola, and I thought, I'm going to hate this. Because I thought it was just going to smell like the cola syrup. You know how when you have like flat soda, you get like the cola syrup? I thought it was just going to smell like that. And I thought, like, why would I want to smell like this all day? But for whatever reason, that fizziness does something, that sparkling kind of invigorating thing, that it's bright and it's refreshing, and it doesn't come off like sticky sweet syrup or anything. I don't know. They just did this really well, and it was so interesting. I'm definitely going to get a travel size of this, just because like this is one of those things where it's not a common scent. I've smelled this soda kind of quality in other fragrances, but nothing like this. Like it's really good. And I do believe it is that kind of like fizzy sparkly note. It pretty much stays like that on your skin, and it lasts for a good like 4+ hours. And again, because it's not super sticky sweet, it doesn't get cloying. It wasn't overwhelming. I didn't get tired of it. It did start to change into like a normal kind of perfume with that perfumey quality. and you got some more of like some spices that I couldn't quite pin down. The clove was the only one that I could kind of point out, but there were some other spices as it dried down. It was just a nice wearing experience. It was just a really nice wearing experience, and it is so kind of different and unique in the way that they did it that I want to have it in my collection. I don't know if I would love it enough to get a full size bottle. Also, the bottle the bottles are so annoying. I'm sorry. The bottles are so annoying to spray. It's annoying to like to handle it, to try to grip it in a way, to also do this because it's that bow. So it's like it's very strange. And I have kind of small hands. I know it doesn't seem like this one here. My hands seem bigger because they're like up closer to the camera, but my hands are kind of small. And even for my small hands, it was kind of hard to grasp the bottle in a way that was comfortable while you were also spraying it. Like I felt like as I was spraying it, the thing could like slip out of my hands at any second. So I didn't like that. But I'm being so nitpicky today, but it's a nitpicky kind of day. I don't know what to tell you. Or maybe I'm just a nitpicky kind of person because I've been like that for like the past week or two. The past couple of videos that I've done, I've been noticing things that I'm like, is this really a big deal? It's probably not a big deal, but it's sticking out to me. So I just feel like bringing it up. So the bottles, I hate these bottles. Bottle aside though, actually, I just don't like handling the bottle. The presentation of it is really cute and the coloring and all that. That's not an issue for me, but it's just the handling of it that's annoying. So moving on from that though, the fragrance I think is worth it. I don't know if it's going to be so worth it and I'm going to love it so much that I'll buy a full size, but I'm definitely going to get a 10 mil. Okay, so as far as the reviews for Cola Fizz, everybody seems to have the same experience. It's invigorating, it's effervescent, it's sparkly. People like the cola, even people that don't like soda. I remember reading a reviewer that said that she didn't even like soda, so she wasn't even expecting to like this one, but she liked it a lot. Another person compared it to Haribo candy soda. I've never had that they made that comparison. I only saw one person that said that the dry down kind of went into this citrusy bathroom cleaner thing for them. So that wasn't a good experience for them, obviously. But for the most part, people really enjoyed this scent and described it as being like this perfect little drop for summer because it's so refreshing and has that effervescent quality to it with like that sparkling fizziness. Next up, we have BonBon Berry Jelly, and the notes on here are going to be peony, raspberry, and black currant. Uh, I don't know. I love how I like give my conclusion before I've even told you what it smells like. I smelled in here sour weeds, something a little herbal. I got the berries. And then on the dry down, it was like a berry cocktail. This was just very confusing to me. I don't know where the sourness came from. I don't know. And even looking at the notes, I'm like, where's the sourness coming from? And it was really distinct to me. Maybe other people won't have the same experience, but I smelled a distinct sourness to it. Raspberry can be a little tart if it's not like the ripest, but I don't know, not sour. And then the herbal thing, I don't know where the herbal thing came from. For me, it just wasn't a good scent. It just wasn't a good scent. I don't know. I don't know how this went so wrong for me, but it did. I didn't like this one. Um, I might go back in to try this again just because I only tried it the one time and I'm thinking like maybe since I was trying so many other things, I don't know. I try to give these fragrances the benefit of the doubt that maybe it's just a me thing. So I don't know. This could be a case where it is a me thing and maybe everybody else is just going to get this kind of berry cocktail. The alcohol portion of this was very distinct, so this does very much come off like a berry cocktail. I'd be surprised if other people got a different experience, but who knows? Our noses are not always the same. So, as far as the reviews for berry jelly, everybody seemed to have a very different experience to me. One lady described it as a scent that got her so many compliments after she wore it to a wedding. One reviewer said, quote, once it settles, it softens into a clean floral note, a must get for women. Words like bright and delicious and beautifully balanced were used. So everyone seemed to really enjoy this. People really seem to enjoy the bottles too, even though I kind of complained about them. For the most part, people got the berry, they got the jelly, they got the kind of syrupy sweetness, the gumminess, and I just didn't get any of that. I'm so jealous. I wish I was smelling what everybody else was smelling. I'm so disappointed that I didn't get this experience. The lasting power was a little iffy with some people, but for the most part, it seemed to last pretty good on everyone. And overall, I did find the lasting power on all of these to be nice. The cola one lasted at least 4+ hours. The caramel crunch, it was the same thing. The berry one, I scrubbed as soon as I got home. So I don't know how long that would have lasted. I couldn't take that sourness that I was getting from there. But yeah, everybody's experience seems to be really good with this fragrance. Well, not everybody. I mean, I haven't read every single review, but for the most part, from the reviews I have read, it seems to be pretty positive. Okay, so last but not least, we have BonBon Caramel Crunch. The notes in here are going to be caramel, popcorn, and vanilla. Initially, when I saw the marketing for this, I don't usually look at like any of the information before I go into the stores and test these. That all usually comes out afterwards. But for this one, for whatever reason, I remember looking at it and looking at the notes, and I genuinely thought that this was going to be a dupe for Sol de Janeiro 71. I was almost kind of annoyed because I was like, man, like how many people are going to like redo this scent profile? Like this has kind of been done to death already. So I didn't really have like high hopes when I tried it. But when I tried it, I was like, you got to be kidding. This is so good. I was so off. This is so good. It smells like Captain Crunch cereal, but the berry version. So berry Captain Crunch. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up. I don't know if they still make that cereal, but it was very like honeyed and oats and that cereal kind of texture. It was warm and spiced. I got a little hint of like some cinnamon in there. It's slightly lactonic, the kind of milky lactonic that you get from the Sniff 2% perfume, which is that's what this reminded me of. I actually thought like this would have been a good addition to that Sniff cereal line. Okay, so the reviews of Caramel Crunch were way different. People got way different experiences than me. So everybody seemed to get the popcorn and a salted caramel kind of vibe. Somebody described it as the experience of like being in the movie theater and getting the movie theater popcorn and then having, your sweet caramels with it. Other people described it as a sticky kind of caramelized popcorn that you get at carnivals. And I mean, you can get them in Walmart and TJ Maxx and stuff, the bags of the popcorn with the kind of caramel shells on them. Not caramel shells. What do they call that? I don't know. They're coated in caramel. So they described it as that. I did not get the popcorn from this. I don't know what everybody's talking about, but aside from me having a different experience than everybody else, the enjoyment level was still the same for everyone. Of course, the only people that didn't like it were people that don't like the popcorn scent. But other than that, the consensus was that most people really enjoyed this fragrance. I was noticing also in the marketing material for this that both berry jelly and the caramel crunch were designed to be mixed with the cola fizz. So apparently you can layer these together and they're supposed to do something nice. I didn't try that. I didn't have a chance to try that before I was scheduled to film this today. And I didn't really want to go off schedule. I wanted to keep to my schedule, but that would be an interesting combination. I think the next time I go into Ulta, I'm going to try the combinations and see because they have the mini collection of these three. And I was thinking about getting those instead of just getting the travel size because I do like the caramel crunch. The only reason I was hesitant is because I don't like the berry jelly one. Now seeing that they are meant to be combined, the berry jelly and the cola fizz, maybe it'll give me a different experience that will be better than the berry jelly on its own. So I'm going to go in and try that again and see. Maybe I'll leave down in the comments if I remember. I'll leave down in the comments if I tried it or not and whether it, changed my opinion of anything. Yeah, but overall, this Viktor and Rolf lineup, I really, really like it. That cola fizz really does something special. And the caramel crunch is just, I really like because I was actually looking for like this kind of this is going to sound so weird, but I was at one point kind of looking for this Captain Crunch kind of berry profile at one time. It was because I found a niche fragrance that kind of almost got me there and I really liked it, but it didn't kind of take it all the way and it had this smoky kind of incensey thing in the background that I really didn't like. So it didn't work out for me, but it kind of put this Captain Crunch scent profile thing in my head that I've been on the lookout for ever since. So I was pleasantly surprised by this caramel crunch one. I know it's supposed to be a popcorn and I wonder if maybe that honey note, that cereal texture is maybe coming from the popcorn. But in any case, it came off as berry Captain Crunch to me and it's really good. Obviously the only one that disappointed me was berry jelly, but overall a nice collection. I really enjoyed it. Obviously better than I enjoy the Valentino. I can't believe The Valentino, man, that was such a bust for me. I know you can make the argument that you could use these as layering fragrances, but I'm not gonna. Not for $50. Like, I'm sorry. And it's also because the vanilla and the caramel, they're just not that good. And also, they don't last. So I'm gonna layer them with other fragrances for the scent to just disappear within 2 seconds. And it's gonna add like a really flat vanilla and a really flat caramel. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like I said, I give them points for doing that pistachio and doing it differently and going in a more nutty direction. And that one at least did have some lasting power to it. That was more than 30 minutes. But I would say just save your money on these. Save the cashola and I don't know. Go get a vanilla from Bath and Body Works. Go get a vanilla from Target. I don't know. Just $50. No, I'm good on that. In any case, that's going to be it for me. If you like this video, don't forget to hit all the buttons, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you have any experiences with these fragrances, what you thought of Valentino in their lineup. Were you also confused by the marketing? I wonder if I'm the only person that cares about this stuff. And let me know what you thought about the Viktor Rolf. I really like that Cola one, man. Anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you and goodbye.